Okay, so thought I would take this opportunity to give you guys an update. We just had family here for this weekend. We had a lot of fun. We did some hunting. We were able to share Shabbat with them, which was great. Which means we got to really get into the Word and do some things that we haven't been able to do in years. My brother and I were able to, um, I guess, really break some ground with each other and um, find some understanding and able to strengthen our family bonds. Um, I wish we'd been able to visit or film while they were here, but we got so wrapped up in what we were doing, we just didn't get around to it. But anyway, so I thought I would go ahead and give you guys the rest of the update that we started a while ago but didn't complete because of, again, we've been so busy with everything going on that we haven't really been able to focus on making videos or anything. Which my hat's off to everybody who does, because this is a lot to accomplish. Not only um, going through and doing everything that we have to do here, but then taking the time to try and video it so that people out there, especially on YouTube and whatnot, can actually see what's going on. We've learned so much from these people that we would also like to share some of the things that we've learned and experienced. And we know that not everybody's experience is the same. Not everybody goes through all the same stuff. We all have to endure our own little trials, and we all live in different parts of the country. We have different types of land. We have different animals. We have different skill sets. So we have to take advantage of what we got and how to allow it to play in. Um, so I thought I would go ahead and walk around and show you some of the stuff that's going on since the last time that we talked. So we went ahead and built this enclosure, our patio or foyer, as Sarah would call it. It's not much of that, but because we still have just rock and stuff down for the flooring, but we used some of the material on hand, so we really didn't spend a lot. We already had one roll of plastic. We had to buy one, and we needed a tarp up for the winter anyway, so we went ahead and did that. You can see that we put a wood burning stove inside, which does an amazing job of warming up here and inside the trailer itself, um, with everything in its own. I mean, it does take a little bit to warm up, but after it does, it stays warm for hours. Um, so over here we have the first of our planters that we've built. This was made from 3 pallets and some recycled plastic. This cost us nothing. Everything included inside here. The hay, well, we did pay for that, but you're talking maybe 10 cents worth of hay in there. We have leaves and all the dirt, all that stuff, all the soil and everything came from our property. The plastic that we lined it with were actually garbage bags and stuff that we had around. So again, didn't really cost us anything at all. Which is working out pretty good. We're hoping to plant a few greens. It's a little late in the year to really get any planting going, but we're going to see what we can come up with. One, we're just taking advantage of the space and the time we got. And because it does stay fairly warm in here, we might be able to grow things that we really hadn't even thought of. So what you'll notice over here is that we have taken down our tarps that we were using for storing our grain and our hay and different things. We've moved it from over there to here. So now we have a new runoff system that goes in the bucket, which filters off the leaves and a lot of the gravel. So we get, fairly clean water in our bucket now. And it seems to be working pretty good. We had a windstorm which blew down most of the leaves. So I'm thinking at least into winter, we shouldn't have to really worry much more about that. So let's see, moving on. We have done a lot of work with our driveway. So our driveway now comes in and it goes actually all the way down to wrap around right in front of the chicken coop. So we have probably about another 100 feet of driveway we have to put in before we can actually put in the parking spots for it, where we're going to be building our house. We cleaned some of the land out around there. This is also a new project just finished today. We're going to see how this really works, and it's going to be our temporary cold storage. Once we get the house built, we'll be putting in a root cellar over by the house. But right now we're spending quite a bit of money buying ice to keep things cool, like mayonnaise and things. So we're hoping that what we plan on doing, excuse me, is lowering them in buckets down into this recycled refrigerator that we found on the property, and using it. The earth around it should be able to keep it at a good temperature so that nothing in there should really spoil, and hopefully reduce the chance of things actually freezing once the frost starts coming in. We have actually, we dug out the hole, which took a while, but then we laid rock in the bottom, so the fridge is actually up off the bottom, so we have a little bit of space down in there, so if water gets in, hopefully it'll run off without running into it. But we'll just play it by ear and see what happens. We'll make do with what we got. We cleared up quite a few of these trails that we use for going from place to place, and the goats are pretty active, and we still have brush in here that we need to clean out, some sticks and stuff to burn up. But here are our little herd, and hopefully Everett over here is doing his job and getting our girls underway, because we want to see our 3 girls turn around and kid out so we can have some more kids and either sell them or keep them. They're either going to be meat or they're going to be money, I guess. And these girls hopefully will produce, with the 3 of them, more than enough goat milk so we can make cheese and things like that. It should be quite interesting. So Everett over here, he's our big buck. We'll see how he turns out. Hopefully he's doing his job, like I said. Right now we're having to treat them for a little bit of ringworm that got in their foreheads, which is somewhat common. But because their living quarters is so small, originally we'd only planned on 3 goats in there. Now we have 6, so we have to increase the size of that living space, which is what we're doing over here. So what we did was we've concreted in some trees. So we stripped the wood down to logs, and we've concreted them down to the floor. And we have a nice sturdy system going in here. So this is going to be an 8-foot by 12-foot storage for the animals, and we'll come off it with the milking parlor. So you've seen the chicken coop before, and some of the photos and videos, and pardon some of the mess. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we still have to clean up as we're going. We just don't always get it all done. A lot of it's weather permitting. But I thought I'd take you down here to show you what we got going on. I'm not going to take you inside the coop because there's not much to see in there. But thought I'd show you how our chickens are doing. We butchered 3 of them and ended up having them yesterday with family, and they were quite delicious. Our cockerels are coming along nice, and we got an individual that wants to trade us some venison for one of our cockerels that they want to use as a rooster, because their rooster is, I guess, getting up in years. All of our hens are looking really nice. They're not laying eggs yet, but that's to be expected. They're just not quite the right age, and the shortening days, cooling air, I'm not really expecting them to produce eggs for quite a while yet. But they do look gorgeous. I said we only ever lost that one at the very beginning. They are healthy. We haven't had any problems at all with them. And over here, this little trail that I started putting in, this is going to lead back to the site where we're going to end up putting our cabin. So probably the next big thing after the driveway gets down here is to start clearing and pouring footers, so we can start putting in the structure. It'll be over time. It's not going to be rapid to get this completed because again, there's only two of us, and we can only work so fast. And since Sarah has other obligations outside of the homestead, I'm only the one that's able to put most of my time into the property. So we're definitely getting into winter. So you can see all the trees have pretty much given up their leaves. It's nice and brown. In the summer, this is so green and so thick that there's no way you can walk back here without a good path or be able to see anything. But what you see right here is going to be the clearing for the new house. Off on the downside is the creek, and we'll end up putting our pond in on the other side of it down there. So we're well up off of our creek. We don't have to worry about actually flooding or anything like that. But when we have rains, we know where the runoff's going to be. And seasonally, this thing has such a gorgeous view throughout the entire year. Even now, with it being brown out there, it still looks pretty nice. So really looking forward to getting this accomplished. Like I said, we're just sticking with it. So anyways, this is Broken Road Homestead, and I want to thank you guys for watching and for subscribing. It's been really nice to hear some of the comments you guys have made and the encouraging words. You know, again, we're so new to this, and I suppose you could say it should be the new Broken Road, because we have so much new things going on. We're learning as we're going. So, you know, we're going to be putting in cold storage. We got the house coming up. Right now, it's really just going to get things ready for winter and start preparing for spring. Hopefully we can start getting our greenhouses put together. We have some really exciting news, which we're not ready to reveal yet, but I think that you'll enjoy it when we get to that point, but it should be coming up soon. Like I said, anyway, have a great day, and thank you for watching.